Oh, everybody, welcome to another episode of Thursday Night Dice. Yes, I stole that from Nerdrotic, Friday Night Tights. Like that? Like that? But that means I'm going to have like 1.5 million subscribers within a short period of time. Hold it. I'm hearing myself, damn it. All right, that works over there. Let me make sure it's working on Patreon here. I do believe it should be. It should be. Yes, it's going on Patreon. Great. All right, cool. So I was gonna test this shit out. You know, never know if it's gonna work. I need to have Patreon up anyway to see the comments if anyone's over there. So life is good. Life is good. All right. Mate Theone one. What's up? I know why you're here because he had a hell of a comment. He wrote one of the longest comments I've ever gotten on a video, and I'm like, I'm going to talk about that shit because it's good. It was really good, and that's the whole topic of the burnout section. Yeah. Where are you, dude? Where are you, Matt Dion? What country? I guess it would be right. So yeah. God damn. Good morning. Time to get up. Good morning. Where are all you people at, motherfuckers? Do I have any Americans here? Anyone on the East Coast? Holy Christ! Someone's getting up. Someone's 3 a.m. Holy shit! What the hell's going on here? I have an international community, I guess, right? I'm like James Bond. I appeal to the international crowd. What can I say? Hungry. All right, I am. I just ate. I'm not that hungry. I had some soup for dinner. So yeah. Uh, Dark Winter, where the hell are you at? Jesus, you're just getting up. That sucks. That really sucks. Let's see how many we got here. We got 9 people going. All right, that's cool. That's cool. Good deal. 9 people. That's not bad for just jumping in on a Thursday night. So cheers, by the way, Old Forester. Somebody always asks, Old Forester. hmm So welcome to the show, my peeps. We got some news. I don't know if you guys saw the whole Dark Sun mess, the disaster, the shit show. Shellback, what's up? He's in Japan. I know Shellback's in Japan. We got hungry. I mean, we got the whole world representing here today. So it's fucking cool. Happy Friday. Yes, it is. Well, for you, it is. I'll have Friday in about 3 hours around that. It's 9:04 p.m. Eastern on a Thursday here. So so, in any case, guys, yeah. So if you saw this, it's nuts. Latest Substack subscriber. Nice, nice. Dan Miller. Welcome, welcome. Couldn't have developed a new setting a room. Well, that's the problem, dude. They don't have Dark Winter. They don't have anybody there who can create anything. All they ever want to do is destroy everything that came before, erase it from existence. It's like 1984. It's Orwell. It's Maoism. That's exactly what it is. What is a dark sun? Uh, dark sun or dim sun? Yeah. Dark sun is a setting Wizards of the Coast had back in the ancient good days. It's basically it was a really it was like a post-apocalyptic setting with all kinds of like evil shit, slavery, blood, gore, violence. It's end of the world setting, collapse, everything. Exactly, Dark Winter. Yeah, that's what it is. That's what exactly what it is. Everything collapsed. So that was a classic setting. And in second edition days, because all the Gen Xers were not offended by shit because we're fucking Gen X, feral and water hose stuff, right? So we didn't give a shit. It was just because, we're not offended easily, right? So yeah, so I get if you guys saw the video that Tim and Paul and I did a couple weeks ago, where Tim and I hadn't watched the Wizards of the Coast grand announcement with Joe Manganiello and Manganiello and all those people, we didn't watch it. Paul had watched it, so he's like, "Oh, he'll cue it from various points in the video and get our takes on it." So it'll be like a cold, I prefer Dotson. Nice, like a cold take on it, just raw, just see our initial reaction. So Paul showed us some stuff, and my gut take was, "Fuck this shit. They suck. They're going to ruin everything, and they're never going to work." Right. And then after that, I actually watched it. I watched a whole hour or so, hour and 10 minutes of the thing. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to give him a chance. I'm a cynical, pessimistic asshole of a bastard, usually. I don't trust anybody or anything, especially when they burn me like for the last 20 years, right? Like Wizards of the Coast is done. I'll give him I'll give them 10. They burned me for 10 years. So maybe fourth edition, maybe a little bit more, right? So I call that the living abortion of D&D, fourth edition. So yeah, ever since fourth edition, they've been fucking us over. And the Splat Books of third edition, just for money grabs, fucking us over too. But at least I had in-house talent to make that shit, right? They had in-house people, creatives making all that stuff up, right? So Dark Sun was a second edition setting. All right. Hey folks, just saw this. Nice, man. What's going on? Mad Max meets Dungeons and Dragons with slavery and everything else bad in the universe. Exactly, Joseph. And so what they did was they said we're going to put out all these things. Joe Manganiello came up, and I'm like, you know what? For once in my life, I'm not going to be a cynical, pessimistic bastard, right? I'm not going to do it. I'm going to believe in hope. Is that the Obama's thing? You know, hope, give hope a chance. I don't know what the hell it was. That was that Clinton thing. I don't know. Somebody said give hope a chance, right? That's what I'm going to have. Give hope a chance. I'm going to believe that Wizards of the Coast can do something fucking right. All right. Maybe they could do it. Maybe they are, tired of kowtowing to the bullshit, right? And to, modern day audiences and bullshit agendas, and the Maoist bullshit on the inside. Maybe they're done with that. Maybe they actually want to make money because they realize that, hey, you know what? I just bought this book, guys, based on a recommendation one of you guys made, The Periplus of the Ethereal Sea. And it's about some trader, a couple thousand years ago, and like it notes in its journal and shit, right? Because I had the money, because I could, right? The people, the dungeon dwellers, basement dwellers, I should say, dungeon dwellers, the basement dwellers who live in their parents' house and got a 4-year degree, $300,000 in loans and work at Starbucks with the purple hair, can't get a real job. Those are the people bitching about shit, right? They can't buy this book. They wouldn't buy this book. And by the way, they don't have the fucking intention, man, to read this book. So Wizards of the Coast might have realized that, hey, you know what? People, if we kowtow to these stupid ass agendas, maybe, just maybe, it'll buy our shit. No. Oh, that was you, Matt? Thank you, man. I haven't looked at it yet. I just came the other day. It took forever to get here, dude. Fucking forever, So, yeah, so maybe I'm like, maybe they'll just do it. Maybe they'll fucking, get beyond their bullshit and actually realize that we have the money to spend on shit, right? I got fucking $5,000 in minis over there. I got $15,000. Come on, we have the money to spend on this shit. So maybe they'll start catering to us instead of the people who don't buy their shit, right? And so I gave hope a chance, and then I was sorely fucking disappointed. Yeah. So here, let me see. This is what started it all the other day, guys. I'm gonna have to hide the chat here for a second. All right. That way you can see the whole full screen of this shit. All right. So this is what started it. Yeah. And somebody says Chubby Funster posted in that clever video. Not the Vecna one. They don't care, nor will they ever again. Yeah. Yeah. This is what started it. Right. Wizards of the Coast gives an interview, confirms they are removing slavery from Dark Sun. And he went over to, I clicked the link here and you get to this interview here. I'll read it because it's short and I'll comment as I go. All right. It's from, I don't know, TTRPG Insider, whoever the hell they are. Oh, it tells you whoever the fuck they are. Wonder who the fuck they are. About TTRPG, a weekly newsletter, blah, blah, blah. Interviews with a diverse array, actual play performers, passionate industry analysis, evergreen resources. Okay, whatever. All right, Chris Hutton, whatever. In any case, that's who they are. So, it says designers from D&D team discuss capturing the uniquely violent and gritty aesthetics of Dark Sun, while also adapting its controversial history. Adapting is the first clue that they're fucking it. Okay. Today, we're taking a look at Dark Sun. The setting of D&D hopes to update and launch as a major product at the start of 2027. Dark Sun has been around for a long time. It's been requested by fans for a while because it's the last setting I haven't fucked up. All right. That's why, Yeah, slavery is wrong. Even evil warlord would never do that. Yeah, towards very tolerant. Exactly. I know. Well, they probably don't have those anymore, man. Slaves in this setting. It's a setting where players have to survive and attempt to overtake powerful forces that are oppressing the masses. All right. However, the setting also has an equal amount of controversial lore that features slavery, genocide, torture, and a lot of other dark topics. It places the D&D team in a unique place to try and capture its unique aesthetics, while also balancing how it is thinking about the bits of lore that may not match modern sensibilities. And they spoke with Greg Blilsland and Mackenzie DeArmas. I've not heard a single good thing about Mackenzie DeArmas. I've not followed. I don't know who the fuck it is, but everybody who ever mentioned the name it just goes off and on a rant about that person. So I don't know. I don't know it's a guy or girl. I don't know. Mackenzie could be one of those like names like, who's this SNL character? Pat. And Mackenzie's like a name like Pat, right? You don't know. In any case, in case you don't know anyway. Dark Sun was among the widespread of announcements at the keynote. It's expected to get 2 full books and a modified version of the PHB. that would make sense. I'd have to modify the PhD from what I've seen about the setting. I've never run it, guys. I have the PDFs, but the PDF area made a delivery once. I didn't know it, and they're sitting there on my hard drive miraculously. So I took a look at it. Yeah, they're going to have to fucking have a new player's handbook. The Return to Dark Sun was driven by the fans. Executive producer Greg B told the Insider, "There's always been a vocal portion of the audience that has wanted us to go back to it," he admitted. After years of requests and campaigns, the company is finally returning to the 30-plus-year-old dark fantasy setting. It's a notable pivot for the company. Former douchebag Kyle Brink said in a 2023 interview with Bob Worldbuilder that the Dark Sun setting is problematic in a lot of ways, and that's the main reason we haven't come back to it. Problematic. First of all, where did that word come from? I mean, I haven't heard it in my entire life until like maybe 8 years ago, and all of a sudden everything was fucking problematic. Problematic is a pussy way to say it's bullshit. It has a problem. Don't say problematic. It's like people who say, "You're not wrong." Well, if I'm not wrong, I'm right, motherfucker. Say I'm right. Shut the fuck up and say I'm right. Fucking man up. Or say I'm wrong, one or the other, but don't say you're not wrong, asshole. Anyway, problematic in a lot of ways, and that's the main reason we haven't come back to it. The statement isn't that shocking, considering the Dark Sun past books use racial stereotypes and genocide. Racial stereotypes, fantasy races, and genocide is notable elements of the game's lore. The races don't exist, buddy. All right? Fantasy. But B insisted that the D&D team is taking it seriously. The content is being reviewed by sensitivity readers. In fact, we invested more deeply in sensitivity readers of Dark Sun, knowing these also, if you look up sensitivity reader, and like Google or Wikipedia or something like that, it also says synonym grifters. All right. He also reinforced the grittiness of the setting will still exist, but it won't rely on narratives of mass slavery. You don't have to have slavery in a setting for it. Have slavery in a setting if in order for it to be oppressive. That doesn't even read right. You don't have slavery in a setting if in order. In order. There's a typo in here. How am I proofreading your shit? I just lost a lot of confidence in you, TTRPG Insider. All right. It's a typo right there. There are other forms of oppression out there. Everybody, there's a lot of talk of oppression. Everything's oppression because there's a victim mentality in the world today, instead of like suck it up and just deal with fucking life. He gave the example of Uruk, a city in Dark Sun that controls one of the leading armies in the region. That's because the leadership regularly presses people into military service or convinces the poor to give up their freedom for a chance to survive. Isn't that slavery by another way? Isn't that just fucking slavery? Asshole. You can't rename something and reskin it and say it's not the thing. He hopes that the setting will offer players a chance to deal with a more mature stories and themes such as fighting oppression and tyrants. Yeah, fighting tyrants is something that they all want to do. And they all say everything is a tyrant, everything is tyranny, everything is fascism, blah, 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 blah. All right. No, this is a fantasy fucking setting. It's like you said, it's Mad Max, guys. That's what it is. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. So Shelby Funster, Greg Christopher, I'm a friend of mine for a million years now. He decides he's going to do a video. You know what? Let me stop sharing because I'm not sure if I clicked on share audio. So let me, stop sharing. There we go. All right. So I want to share the screen again so that I can share the audio with you guys. There's a certain, I didn't click it like a retard. All right. There we go. All right. So now, Greg came up with an awesome video. I'm going to turn the volume up. You guys, let me know if you could hear this, guys. I think you should be able to hear this. Okay. Let me know if you can't. All right. All right. There we go. I'm going to comment through it.
AI. It is your responsibility to observe the deployment of Vecna carefully to make sure that it is making the right choices.
There. Did you guys hear that? Let me know before I continue. I don't want to let it go for 4 minutes and talk through it and blah, blah, blah. So let me know if you heard that, guys. Okay. Anybody? Bueller, did you hear Greg talking there? Say yes. Say something. Say anything, motherfuckers. Tell me. I'm gonna have a drink while somebody responds. Come on. I could take it. All right, good. Thank you, Joseph. All right, I'm gonna start from the beginning and play it then.
Greetings, valued Wizards of the Coast employee. You have chosen or been chosen to take part in the trial release of our new Vecna AI. It is your responsibility to observe the deployment of Vecna carefully to make sure that it is making the right choices.
Well, I told Greg is that he totally has the zero test or negative testosterone HR guy voice, doesn't he? Totally has the fucking god damn, just by that voice alone, he's the one who goes in and into the office early to clean up and make the coffee, right? Come on. All right, here we go.
In line with our corporate values. VECNA is an acronym for Venerable Existing Content Neutralization Agent. It is designed to review our existing, widely respected catalog of published material to find any problematic content that needs to be eliminated going forward.
Problematic. There's that word again. Problematic content. Yes, need to find that problematic content.
The purpose of this instructional video is to familiarize you with the core logic that VECNA uses to make decisions about what content to change. Category 1, Violence. Theft of rightful possessions, physical assault, the combination of these into robbery, murder, intimidation up to and including violent threats, the desecration of corpses, and the display of gratuitous bodily fluids are all acceptable forms.
Desecration of corpses. I love it. There's necromancy, right? Yeah, that's what it is. You can do all these things, right? Because think about it. A D&D adventuring group, when you break into somebody's dungeon, it's a home invasion to them, right? It's all a matter of perspective.
Of content. For example, in the recent Dark Sun trailer, a human skull is ripped apart in an orgiastic explosion of blood, and a bare-breasted birthing person explodes from the power of squiggly
birthing person.
line magic. Both of these would be acceptable displays of violence. However, it would be unacceptable for there to be any unwanted touching of the exposed skin, the distribution of any grapes, the assumption of a birthing person's gender, or the hurling of insensitive insults by any characters being depicted. VECNA is still in a preliminary phase where it struggles to differentiate between obviously allowed content, like stabbing someone through the throat, and problematic content, like unwanted touching of that same throat. The close physical proximity requires a level of nuance.
Stab him in the throat, but don't touch them like this, right? Don't gently touch it. Just stick a knife. You could do that, right? You take the knife, right? You take the knife, yeah, but don't fucking touch him. Yeah, that's how it goes. Yep.
That only a valued employee like you can bring to the situation. Category 2, Society. It is acceptable to depict societies with modern values, defined as anything after the year 2020. Tolerance of everything, including criminal organizations and frequent predatory violence, ruled by individual villains as long as they are plutocratic or aristocratic. Undead and monstrous villains are also acceptable. And finally, it is acceptable for members of your fantasy societies to be deprived of their freedom as long as it is depicted as service. This last point was made public in a recent interview given by Greg Bilsand, in which he made it very clear that the terrible tyrants of the original Dark Sun would be replaced by equally oppressive rulers who only force people into service. Remember, word choice is very important.
Yes.
Unacceptable depictions of society include any archaic moral sentiments that would have been commonplace before the year 2020, societies where one group of sentient creatures has dominance over the others, and that dominance might be visible due to species, outfit, or coloration. And societies cannot be depicted as intolerant or resisting change in any way. All individuals must be presented as lacking confidence in their own convictions and capable.
Yes, perfect. That sums up an entire generation, the people they're catering to. Like, again, negative testosterone, zero confidence, everything goes to a fucking panel discussion, everything goes to a group meeting, everything has to be hemmed and hawed about. Just fucking decide, man up. I gotta hear that again.
All individuals must be presented as lacking confidence in their own convictions and capable of being persuaded of anything, just like our customers. These two logic categories will be implemented to find and neutralize as much problematic content as possible. However, we must warn you that the source documents being fed into VECNA are still tainted by the gross immorality of the late 20th century. If you find any of this content still problematic after VECNA processing, please reach out to Human Resources immediately for mental health support.
I think they need mental health support now. Actually, that's what they fucking need now, mental health support, if they're even considering this. And the scary thing is that VECNA AI, it's probably, they're not going to call it VECNA, but I'm sure they're going to do something. They're going to program some AI to filter out anything that's problematic.
Thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to review these logic parameters with us today. People can get a role-playing game book anywhere. They choose Wizards of the Coast for our moral clarity and our ingratitude. We could make new things, but we choose instead to fix the past. Stay safe out there, and thank you for your service at Wizards of the Coast.
We can make new things, but we choose instead to fix the past. 1984, anybody? Anybody? That's exactly what the fuck that shit is. You know, that's what it is. All right. So you hear me? Hear me? Put that in loop for 20 minutes, J Bash. Yeah. I did that once with Tim Shores because I'm trying to get him monetized, get him the hours with his Gothridge Manor channel. God, go subscribe to Gothridge Manor, by the way, guys, if you haven't already. Trying to get him monetized because YouTube just changed. A little quick aside here. It used to be you needed 1,000 subs and 4,000 watch hours in like the last, I don't know, half a year or something like that. They just doubled the watch hours to 8,000. Now, Tim doesn't do a lot of videos, so I'm trying to get him as many watch hours as I can. But the bottom line is I tried to do a loop of his on like 10 tabs at once and watch them all. It doesn't count, apparently, for YouTube doesn't like that. So they see it's a, spamming thing or something. Think it's cheating. But the AI of Vecna, is that the new artifact? Yeah, could be the AI of Vecna. I like that. I won't go Wizards a single penny. I'll buy the real Dark Sun. Wizards are problematic, so we'll eliminate Vecna eliminating Wizards, I would think. I would hope. When the font, I thought it was Vecna A1, Wizard Potion. Yeah, the steak sauce scent. If you look at the adventures, the worst monsters. Yeah. Howdy, Joe. What's up, Randall? What's up? Yeah, it's here to stay. It's not going away. I had some minor hope of, Oh, this is totally satire. This is great, Christopher. Chubby Funster. Where's the Onion logo? He's funnier than them. The newest Dragonlance requires the GM to ask permission to kill a player if fails to testify. So what? What? Really? This is the other creative paternalism. That's the other video, creative paternalism. I must watch. Maybe I'll watch it. I don't think I've seen that one. I found an online game to start playing, but the amount of safety features and company lingo scared me away. Yeah. So I found another thing. It was somebody on Twitter, X, whatever you call it now, reposted some shit. I thought it was fucking great. Let me show this to you guys. It was really funny. There we go. Let's see. Share that. All right. So this was good. This thing here is dndontap.com it's on X, and so I've never heard this channel. I subscribed to them because they're fucking funny. This gives you the taste of their style, guys, right? So let me carry that. There you can see a little better. Only Wizards of the Coast and surveys only count the positive results. Count the positive, ignore the negative. Declare overwhelming success because we said so. The voices we ignore because they don't fit our narrative. Wheelchairs removed. Bad. Pogo stick butt plugs. Really? Not what we asked for. This is dumb. I'm quitting. This ruins the game. Why not listen? ... They ignore those voices. Bring back common sense. Not fun and bad idea. Ignored and discarded. Remember, happy players don't complain. Complainers don't matter. We make the game better. You just don't understand it yet. This is a fantastic the Twitter account, guys. Again, it's D&D on tap. DND, the letter N on tap on Twitter. So, but they posted something I was roaring at before. The Woke Sun World, Road to Uranus by Greg Billsland. Let's go loot something fabulous. Love all realms. Look at all the flags. Oh my god, everything the dwarf with the fucking flowers in his hair and shit. Oh, that's fucking fantastic. It's fucking fantastic. I did not make it to the Citadel, J Bash. I did not make it there. I'm just a lot going on, life-wise. They have to leave our furries out. They're sure to make a further drastic changes. And then they have the monster appendix, Woke Sun appendix. Loud and proud. Oh god, this is fantastic. You got the band with the they them on it. It's fucking great. And then you move up here, and we have an adventure. Dungeons and Dildos, second edition, Woke Sun World, Prom Queen's Crown, a collection of sensitivity readers. Oh God, this looks fucking great. Love is, oh my God, this is fantastic. So yeah, this is just great. I'm gonna fuck around with this later on. Harlot Generator, because every tavern has a story. Yeah. But that's D&D tap on tap. Yeah, that's just fucking funny, guys. That's just fucking funny. So that's it. I had some faith. I was hoping for the best. I kept hope alive, right? I did. I was keeping hope alive here. Didn't work out. It didn't work out. Yeah, Tim, they do. They do it to themselves, dude. I don't know if you caught the first 26 minutes, man, but yeah, I just played Greg's video and showed his post and read the article and this and that. But yeah, Jesus Christ. Tim, I had faith. I remember our video with Paul. I was like, you know what? God damn it. They're gonna fuck it up. And then I watched the whole video and I did another video saying, you know what? I'm gonna give them a chance. I'm gonna say they might do well. They might do well. I need a direct link to Harlan Jenner. I do not ask questions why. That's funny. Yeah, they fucked themselves, man. They fucked themselves, you know. It's a goddamn shame. It really is. So we're stuck with them, right? I mean, or we're not, because the original Dark Sun exists, guys, right? I mean, you go pick it up. PDF Fairy makes deliveries all the fucking time, right? You know, so just go pick up the original Dark Sun. You don't need 5th edition rules to play the fucking thing anyway, right? You can just play it under any rule set. It's a setting, right? It's a setting. Here's my other thing I'm wondering about Dark Sun, because it was heavily psionics based. I don't have any Dark Sun setting books or anything like that, but when I was thinking about making my own psionic system, I look back at every psionic system in pretty much all the RPGs I've ever seen, and believe it or not, 2nd edition Dungeons and Dragons had the best psionics I've ever seen. Right, so it was good because all the other editions of D&D, what they do is their psionic system is essentially it's psionic fireball, psionic teleport, psionic dimension door, right? That's all it is. It's psionic cure light wounds. It's just psionic in front of the fucking spell, and they're not unique at all. But 2nd edition D&D had that psionics handbook, and it was fucking fantastic. It made psionics his own thing. And when I was thinking about stealing shit, you know, because why create if you can steal and make it better, right? Wizards steal from themselves and makes it worse. I'm going to steal from wizards and make it better, right? Hence my old school 5e hack. That's what I'm doing. That's the goal of that thing. But anyway, the one Dark Sun book I ever bought was this one called Dragon Kings. And it's basically all their psionics, an expansion of the 2nd edition psionics system. So this is one of my COVID purchases when I wasn't hitting the bars and the clubs and, you know, bullshit. I had a lot of extra money to spend. So yeah. So that's what I picked that up and I took a look at it. And it really is. It expands upon it and everything, you know. So I figured let me give that a shot. But that's my only experience with Dark Sun. I kind of want to just on general fucking principle play the old old Dark Sun now, you know. I really do. Let me see something here. Let me see, because I know that I'm going to pull up, Greg Christopher, Chubby Funster, and all that. He put out a thing for Shadow Dark, I believe, called Shadow Sun. Shadow Sun, the Shadow Dark setting. All right. So I own it apparently. Look at that. I bought it from Greg. What I'm going to do, boys and girls, kids of all ages, I'm going to put a link here so you guys can buy it. Because I know Shadow Dark is all the rage, even though it's not my game. There's your Shadow Sun. Buy that. I figure I played Greg's video. I'm going to pimp Greg's shit. Everything Greg puts out is good. So go buy that. All right. Chubby Funster's Shadow Sun. And he's having actually, you know what? He's having a Kickstarter launching soon with Shadow Sun 2nd edition. So you might want to buy maybe a PDF of this, get the feel of it, and wait for the Kickstarter. I think in like a month or two or something. He's got a Kickstarter for 2nd edition going, guys. So maybe buy the PDF of this thing and then wait and get the Kickstarter for the 2nd edition of it, guys. All right. I think you can't go wrong buying his shit. He has good stuff. He puts out good stuff. All right. So yeah, it's a good setting. I think we'd all use a shirt that says, "Why come up with yourself when you could steal it?" Yeah. You know the funny thing? I one time talked to Rob Kuntz a million years. It has to be 15 years ago going on, right? And it was weird. I had bad reception. He was somewhere. I had to use Skype, and I could only get Skype on my phone. It was an old phone, and I'm like looking for the one spot in the house I had decent reception because it was all choppy. So I had this conversation with Rob in a corner of my kitchen, and he was telling me back when he was with TSR, early days, Judges Guild came to them and they asked permission to make adventures for D&D, and they're like, go ahead. Yeah, why? Who would buy that? Who would ever want to buy an adventure? Everybody wants to make their own shit up. I can't even believe it would even sell. So yeah, go for it, buddy. Go for it, Bledsoe. Make your own goddamn adventures. So Judges Guild prints their adventures, start making money hand over fist, and we're just like, whoa. not gonna do that shit no more. So that's why early Judges Guild adventures were compatible with D&D, and later I guess they weren't because they had to change the internal system and make it look like it wasn't D&D when we all knew it was, and it was completely compatible with it, right? So yeah, so that's that's what your comment here reminds me of. We could all use a shirt that says "Why come up with it yourself?" and you could steal it. Yeah, yeah. Well, doesn't Malta? I think he's in Italy or something. Yeah, he's in Italy. He might be. I mean, Malta's a lot of money. Believe it or not, I'm actually Maltese. I am 25% Maltese. This is the safest bar bet in the world. When I tell people my last name and I say guess the nationality, and nobody does. So I'm not going to tell you my last name, but I've had multiple beers off of that fucking bar bet. So yeah, I'm 25% Maltese. So go figure. So yeah. So this is where we're at now. Dark Sun. How are they going to do psionics? Is it going to be some shitty psionic system? I don't think there's been a fifth edition psionic system, right? And I know they're going to take the shortcut and they're just going to make maybe use them as sorcerers or something like that instead of psionics, because they can't develop their own psionic system, because that would take a lot of fucking work and a lot of fucking creativity. And I honestly don't think there's anybody there who has that at level of creativity or gumption, balls, whatever you want to call it, quite literally and figuratively. They don't have it. They don't have the ability to create a psionic system. Maltese Clue, a Judges Guild adventure. Nice, dude. Nice. Yeah, they don't have the ability to make make psionics for 5th edition. They don't have the people left to do that. Anybody that had any talent is gone onto greener shores, usually over at the Critical Role folks, right? So yeah. So they're gone. They're gone. They can't make it up. So they're gonna have probably my bet, no psionics and no real slavery. And all the oppression that they fight is going to be an analog to something in modern day. And it'll be because these people are stupid and lack creativity and don't understand subtext. They're going to have to tell you pretty much exactly what it's going to be. Like it's going to be an orange-haired guy that is the oppressor of the world, right? His name might sound like Dump, right? And then you're going to have to defeat him, right? So that's probably what it's going to be. That's probably what it's going to fucking be. So it was a real adventure. Yeah. Is it really? Is Maltese Clue? I didn't know that. I know the Maltese Falcons, that book by Dashiell Hammett. So yeah. There's a few signs of it. They're just worse casters. You could at least make a better mage hand, Bigby saying, yeah, that's why even have it. I mean, why just putting the word psionics in front of something doesn't make it a psionic. I mean, you need to have like psionic points, things like that. The closest analog they have to psionics, I think, is sorcerers. I honestly think that's what they'll probably do, is make a sorcerer psionic subclass or some bullshit like that, with power points or something, or psi points or whatever. They're not going to create something new because they can't. They just don't have the ability, guys. I know that there's this guy, the Pickle Dragon. He put something up. Let me pull this up. This was actually pretty fucking interesting. Actually, I think I have it on my phone, because I was showing it to the guys earlier today. Probably easier just to look there. Here it is. So this is the Pickle Dragon, and he says, I had a long talk with my friend at WOTC. I get the feeling that the devs who were assigned to Dark Sun wanted to give the big middle finger to Dan Ayub. They are pissed about the Icons group. That's the one Joe Manganiello heads up. They're pissed about the Icons group getting creative control of their projects and pushing out their people. And that's what's going on. Then more power to Joe Manganiello, because they all need to be pushed the fuck out. All right. They all need to be pushed the fuck out, guys. So yeah. Fuck them. Fuck them all. Is there but how is it a subclass of wizard when psionics are psi powers? How is that? How could it be? TMF called the Maltese Clue. No shit. I didn't know that. Warlord Dognall Dump from Fart. Yeah, that's what it's gonna be, dude. Yeah. I mean, anything modern sucks. Yeah, exactly. I don't think they understand the difference between spells and psionics. Let me create it. Let alone exactly, Tim. They can't fucking do it. They can't fucking do it. They can't create something like that. They lack the fucking ability. So yeah, that's where we're at. That's where we're at with these fucking people. They don't know how to do it. They don't know how to create anything. They lack the talent. They lack the ability. They got hired because some friend got them in the fucking door. And most of them don't even work there. They're like far-flung people who work for the company but are independent contractors or something like that. So they're not even on the fucking payroll. Maybe, some probably are, but some aren't. I know somebody who is on the payroll, who works, across the country from the place. So halfway across the country. So yeah, you don't have to like live in Washington, because who the fuck would want to live there? It rains like 368 days of the year, doesn't it? Jesus Christ, right? I went there once for a business trip, and I had shorter hair than this then, and I didn't understand how bad the humidity was, how it affects hair. And now I understand what chicks say when they have bad hair days. Dude, my hair was like the Harlem Globetrotters of the 70s. It was like a fucking massive, I couldn't do anything to it. It was insane. It was fucking insane. Just blame OJ. I like that. I refuse to give money to people who send private dicks to the customer's house to correct their own mistakes. I'm not paying. Exactly. Fuck them. Fuck them and all their Pinkerton bullshit. They have still not apologized for that. And the other thing they haven't done either is they were going to drop the D20 SRD or something like that in Creative Commons too. I didn't see that. They didn't do that yet, right? So yeah. One thing I had to do is destroy something created by a far more creative individual. I fucking agree, Nordic Maelstrom. I fucking agree. Completely 100%. So fuck them all. Just don't buy their shit, buy the old stuff. Buy it used if you can. Don't buy it from drive-through, all right? Because they're making money if you buy it from drive-through. Buy it used somewhere else, or just have it magically be delivered, a character named Joe the Fro. Yeah, Joe, that would be interesting. It was a lot shorter. It was just a fucking ball of hair. It was insane. I never had something like that, They did the Creative Commons for the SRD for 5th edition, but not the D20 one. They didn't do the D20 one. That's the problem. A lot of people had to go from the D20 license, whatever the hell that's called, to the 5th edition. I think that just the latest Old School Essentials came out, right? The 2026 version. And instead of referencing the D20, whatever the fuck license, they referenced the Creative Commons 5th edition license. I had to change that, Yeah. They don't show any passion for the game. They put in minimal effort. It's like a teacher's making them write 1,000 times. I will make dumb shit that no one likes. Tim, they don't care. Their point, their goal in life is destroy everything that came from the past, everything, because it's all problematic. That's why they're not teaching history in school anymore. And when they do, it's never nuanced. It only tells one fucking side of the story, right? It's pure propaganda. It's Maoist bullshit. Erase the past. It's 1984 shit, right? And it's strange. You can find 1984 and then Strange New World. I think it was called, right? Aldous Huxley's, whatever. Yeah, it dead. Dead. Yeah, one of your rules in the Creative Commons SRD letter claiming it was still in the works, but never did. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yep. Only 5e, not the previous SRD. Yeah, they didn't put that in. And yeah, nobody's calling them on it though, because anybody who was there before when that happened, they're gone. Kyle Brink, douchebag, gone. Right? Everybody, when they knew that fucking VTT was going to land like a fucking wet turd, they left before it landed like a fucking wet turd, right? And nobody was like, nobody wanted to be left standing in a game of musical chairs where, it's like, oh shit, it's your wet turd now. Go clean that shit up, bitch. Brave New World. Yeah, we're all in Soma. Exactly. Soma. We got Soma right here. This is fucking Soma right here in my hand. That's what it is. That's what it is. Joe the Fro's a halfling bard. I hate bards, but with a mohawk and plays a triangle as his instrument, I don't give Wizard any money anymore. Private use is the way to go. Yeah, I agree, man. Go to eBay or something like that. Yeah, Soma. But I have another topic tonight. Believe it or not, I came prepared. My first show with you guys, I didn't know how this shit was going to go, but I figured let me try to prepare. So I did last time. This is my third show, my Thursday night dice. So I wanted to show you this. I got a hell of a comment. And Matt, this is where you're coming up, dude. Is it MATETHEONE _1? I don't know if it's Matt or Matet or Mathione. I don't know how to say your name, but I was going to call you Matt. All right. So let me see. You say not to listen to other YouTubers. Just curious. Have you any quick thoughts on a Mystic Arts channel? Yeah, I do actually. Where did he fucking come from? He's like, he started a channel and then the next day he had, 80,000 subs. Where did he come from? I don't understand. It's like, it just, he blew the fuck up for no reason. I don't, it's like almost like, how like politicians, you could tell like they've been groomed to, from a young age to ascend the ranks of politicians by their handlers and the people who will control them for the rest of their lives, right? And they come out of nowhere and they ascend like a fucking rocket ship. I'm not saying that Mystic Arts is like that, like a handler and shit, but he reminds me of that vibe. Where the fuck did he even come from? Who is he? And where is our, I don't understand him or his channel. I don't understand his pedigree, his credentials. I don't know that he has any. You know, where the fuck did he come from? It's like that. The one guy who, the most recent guy who blew up, was fucking Baron DeRop, whatever the fuck his channel is. You know, he blew up out of nowhere, but he came at it legit with like a genuinely different angle, a geopolitics angle to D&D. Fine. You're having a different angle nobody thought of, and you're a geopolitics major, and you're bringing something to the table. I watched many of his videos, and they're good, and they help, right? But Mystic Arts, what the fuck is that? Who the fuck? Where did he come from? Where the fuck horse he jump off of and just say, I'm here, motherfuckers, give me 100,000 subs? I'm a little jealous, I gotta say, but what the fuck, right? Jesus Christ. Anyway, he's always hanging around with douchebag Ben Milton, so fuck him. So anyhow, School Snackster Wizard plus Psy Warrior, Soul Knife, Aberrant Mind, God, UA 2019 prep never survives contact with the viewers. That's true. Mate, like Matt, you. Oh, okay, Matt. All right. It really blew the fuck up. He's from Iceland. Morster was in the population of Iceland. He's the Gen Z Whisperer. Is that what it is? He's the Gen Z Whisperer. Yeah. Don't subscribe. He's not even worth fucking subscribing to. But anyway, let me share this because there was the comment. All right, Matt had there. Matt, you. All right, so let me where is it? Share the screen. It's a very good, very long comment. Tim, this is the comment that I shared with you and Paul the other day in like 8 different screenshots because it was so fucking long. So here you go. There we go. So let me get my ugly face out of here. How do I move myself? Give me a second, guys. How do I move my fucking, oh, there it is. Customize, move my head. I'll go to the top. All right, there we go. That's easier that way. Okay, cool. So I'll read it to you and I guess I'll just comment as I go. And this was to a video that the DMing is an art. All right. So Matt says, lately I've come to realize that I have a problem with D&D and I like to ask for your help with it. I've simply become alienated from D&D, not because of a few scattered annoyances with the game, but from the whole thing altogether. I've been both a player and a DM, and I feel this way from both sides of the table. One thing I don't think you actually said in there, Matt, was how long you've been playing and or DMing. So if you can maybe throw that in the chat, yeah, Mr. Gartz. So yeah. So he says, I'm tired of the community and of dungeon tubers who, in my experience, spend more time talking about unnecessary backstories and repeating the same generic advice we've already heard 1,000 times. And that's even worse. A lot of people they're just researching it. It's not coming from practical experience. They're either researching it, watching somebody else's video, or asking like ChatGPT to give them a script to read about shit. So that's the worst fucking part. They're not even coming from their own point of view. So yeah, I get the whole thing with dungeon tuber exhaustion. It says I'm tired of seeing the game treated more like a marketing product than an actual game, and of the endless arguments about absolutely everything. That's always gone on, dude. That's something you got to get used to. I mean, especially in edition changes, there's edition wars. I remember I did a video talking about the change of 5.0 to 5.5, and I'm like, oh, this is your first time to an edition war. Here's what you're in for. But especially things that have nothing to do to improve the games people actually play. Yeah, they just argue over nonsense. It's territorial turf shit. It's my playground and get the fuck off it kind of stuff. And how dare you desecrate the old way we used to play on my playground? But that's what they're doing. As a player, I'm tired of progression not feeling real. I've been in so many groups where by level 4, we already owned a ridiculous number of godlike magical items and defeated enemies that should have been twice as difficult as anything we could reasonably handle. Yeah, that's 5e. That's 5e for you guys. All right. Playing about 5 or 6 years, cool. Honestly, a few of my friends did not want to give AD&D second up, but playing Mongoose Traveler. Yeah, I know what you're saying, dude. Anywho, I'm tired of other players wasting huge amounts of time using their characters to act out their personal issues or fetishes instead of actually playing the game. I totally agree, dude. This is not your therapy. I've done multiple videos on that. I'm not your fucking therapist. I'm tired of every obstacle and every adventure inevitably ending in combat because everyone just wants to kill things without thinking. This is how we played at age 15. If you're still playing that way at age 35, you suck. All right. And without the DM's help, puzzles that should be solvable by kindergartners somehow exceed the mental capacity of a table full of adults. Well, that goes back to the fucking iPhone issue, the shitification, the inshitification, right? That's the word now. The inshitification of education, and just people not having attention spans to read. Right, I think that's what it is, and they don't have any critical thinking skills. D&D used to be a game played by spazzes, geeks, nerds, and otherwise outcasts with brains. Now it's a game played by theater kids and rejects, right? And we were all rejects, but we were smart rejects back in the day. Except Tim, he played football. I don't know where the fuck he came from. Anyway, says as the DM, I mean, I gotta wet my whistle here with a little old Forester. So give me a second here. All right. As a DM, I'm tired of my players not taking it seriously enough to show up on time. That pisses me off. To pay attention to what's happening or have even the slightest amount of flexibility in a game as high fantasy as D&D. What I've noticed in that regard is that if you're playing online, people, the old thing that if you're playing at the table, you're not paying attention, you're stacking dice, right? Back in the ancient days. And now you're looking at your phone, or if you play with your laptop and D&D Beyond, you're like playing whatever the fuck game on there. Yeah, you did. You're a weirdo, Tim. You fucking played D&D and you played football, you weirdo. So yeah, you don't fit, man. You don't fit. Uh, so yeah, so that's it. Now they're looking at their phones and doing everything else, right? So yeah, it's annoying. Um, or even have the slightest amount of flexibility in a game as high fantasy as D&D. And he gets into what that means later. I'm tired of not being given the basic respect of knowing that if we agree that I'll prepare something for Tuesday at 5 p.m., they'll actually be there at Tuesday at 5 p.m. I don't have to drag people to the table and spoon feed them their own character's abilities. Yes, know your fucking character. Know your character, know their gear. I fucked up recently on that in Tim's game, and I feel like a shithead. Know your character, know your gear, know your stuff, know your capabilities. Think about the game in between the game. If you're not thinking about the game that you're playing in between the game that you're playing in, it's probably not a good game. I think about my guy Snickle all the time because I got to fucking find a way to live in Tim's game, right? So yeah, you got to think about your character. If you're not thinking about the game between the game, it's not a good game, guys. You might want to drop it. Might be a good rule there, Joe's rule. Let's see, but about I don't want to drag people there. I also often find that one group of people wants to stick rigidly to very traditional fantasy concepts and isn't open to any of the magic of doing something different, while another group wants to play increasingly bizarre and outlandish races and characters. Yeah. Yeah, I know. There's the old rigid people, right? And then there's like, I want to play a half this, quarter that, one third this, 10% that, gish class with 48 different subclasses mixed in. Yeah, fuck them. This is I'm tired of I've tried convincing so many people by saying, look, I have this campaign idea. We'd all play savage tribal warriors, lizard men, Wanty orcs, beastmen, or some other or another one that would take place beneath the sea, where everyone would have an aquatic character and could have interesting encounters using completely different mechanics. But I've never managed to find people who actually wanted to play in a game where they couldn't just choose the standard races or bring their own specially customized character concepts. I think, dude, I don't know, Matt, and you're still in the chat there, I'm hoping, because I'm gonna throw out your questions here, but every day for me in a game when I was in high school. Yeah, 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 that's true, Adam. Matt, if you're still there though, are you playing in person or online? Because you may have to actually, I think Critical Role is a big reason why there's weirdness. I think that you may actually, Matt, have to reach out to people online, find your tribe. Like I found my tribe of people I like to play with and people I don't. There's people in my real life in person games I've played with for 30 years. I don't want to play with anymore. And there's people who I've known forever online that there's only certain kinds of games I would ever play with them in. Right. There's the beer and pretzels gamers. There's the long campaign gamers. Right. And that's kind of it. And I'd rather play long campaign gamers than beer and pretzels gamers. Beer and pretzels games, it seems like what you have there is that what everybody wants to do is a beer and pretzels game, or just not paying attention. Murder hobo, a low IQ fucking game that we played in 1984 when we were young teenagers. That's the kind of game it sounds like you got people who only want to play, right? You might have to branch out, dude, to like online. Believe it or not, I can't believe I'm saying this. D&D Beyond is adding some new find a gamer feature or something like that, or find a DM or find a game. Check Discord channels. Like if you know the system you want to play, uh, like if you want to play old school essentials, or Swords or Wizardry or Hyperborea, join the channels that the creators of those games have. And I guarantee you, like on a Shadow Dark Discord server, you're going to find people who want to play and like to play and are good at playing or running Shadow Dark games. So find the game you want and then go find the tribe, all right, on Discord that plays those games. That's the best way to do it, because game stores are not the way anymore either. Honestly, game stores, you're not going to find not too many people playing D&D games there at all. They're playing card games and shit, and then any games that are playing D&D, it's like I've seen a couple of kids games, which were good for them, good for running kids games. Get new people into the hobby, but there's just a couple of groups, and they're a fixed group. There's never a pickup game at a fucking game store anymore that I've seen, at least in the ones near me. So yeah. But blah blah blah. Let's see. What burnt me out as someone who enjoys stories is that so many people seem to play the exact same story over and over again. Yep. A human, a dwarf, an elf meet in a tavern. They go into a cave, they kill something, they come back out, they drink, repeat, things to kill, distances between those things, and the occasional funny sidekick character. Yeah, that's a beer and pretzels game. That's a low IQ D&D gamer. We all start there. I mean, this is where we started when we were kids. But if that's the way you're still playing, like I know that Old School Essentials 2026. I was watching a video about it today from RPG Grandpa. He's talking about the release. And I think they said in the video something like they start out with low levels, you do the BX stuff, you do the dungeon stuff, and then a few after third level, you do some wilderness stuff, and then you do the campaign shit where you set up your stronghold and stuff, right? So that's where we started. And you need to understand that that's not where you stay, right? If you're still running that kind of game after 5 years, you haven't learned shit. You need to have a blended world, a real life verisimilitude simulation immersion into a fucking world that overcomes all those problems. Like we all started with Beckme, right? Like what I started with, and it's basic dungeons, expert outdoors, companion. You're starting to build up your domain and shit like that, domain play, right? So that's what it is. But if you still run along that cycle of this, then that, then this, they're all together at the same fucking time, man. So it sounds like you're playing with bad DMs. That's it. Or players who only know that think that that's the only thing to do, right? Or players who bought and DMs who only ran those fucking fifth edition D&D adventures, which suck balls, right? They're terrible. They fucking suck balls because they're a goddamn railroad and they do not teach DMs how to be DMs. Biggest fucking problem with them. Do not teach DMs how to be DMs. They teach DMs how to railroad people through a fucking play. And here is your character you're going to play in my fucking play. That's all it is. Anyway, they drink, they repeat, blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, everyone spends ages crying about their character's family trauma and how terrible life is because they were born into this or that situation. That's straight up projection of their real life into a game because they go to probably group therapy and they probably have some part of personal therapy in their own real lives or group therapy in their real lives. They probably have some level of role playing. And so they hear role playing game. They think it's fucking therapeutic. It's not, bitches. It's a fucking escape. I mean, sometimes like playing Doom back in the day, Doom 2. I mean, that was a great escape. The little therapy there, blowing up those goddamn shit and things, killing them with the BFG 9000. But that's a different kind of therapy. If you're gonna that's you blow off monsters' heads for an hour, that's a whole different kind of therapy. This you're playing as campaigns that are supposed to run for years. You're not here to fucking spend years in group therapy with your players. Don't put that shit on them. Fuck you. All right, so I'm tired of seeing character concepts, one-shot characters, and characters ripped off from TV show develop a bigger culture around them than the actual game itself. Everything seems to be filled with level 1 to 4 wannabe heroes or level 17 to 20 god-killing demigods. Yeah, I mean, granted, back in the day, people bought the what do you call it? Deities and demigods, or whatever the fuck it was initially called. Just in order to see the stat blocks and kill Thor and shit like that, right? And take the goddamn Mjolnir. But the wannabe hero thing, that's new, because essentially the wannabe hero thing, if you look in the first edition Player's Handbook, a million years ago, I did a word search on OCR Player's Handbook scan, and the word hero never appeared in any way other than as a title for a fighter's level. I think whatever level it was, you're a hero. That's it. It was not a heroic game. It was gritty survival, man. It was gritty fucking survival. That's all it was. Let me see some comments here. All right, Matt, both. Matt, I forget the fucking question I asked that you're answering both to. So sorry, dude. I totally rocking Aquatic Elf Warrior rides a great white shark in a battle. That'd be kind of fun, Train your groups to play systems other than D&D or near clones. Yeah, or train your group to play better as players. If they don't, drop them. I just downloaded Dark Sun box set. Solved. Nice, nice. And I'm sure you paid well for that too, didn't you? I ran a simple BX game with pretense. Folks had a blast. I don't know what that means with pretense, but they had a blast. All good, man. I don't want to play online anymore. I know it's hard, but sometimes you just don't place you got to find your peeps is online, man. I know, I know. It's hard to get an in-person game with regular people, though, man. They're getting weirder and fucking weirder out there, you know. I played in a game store once, and my part of me, I swear once in a while, in case you didn't notice, I had the game store owner just shushing me a couple of times. Got pissed. I'm like, dude, we're playing D&D. Shut the fuck up. But I get it. You got kids playing the stupid bullshit card games up there, so I shut the fuck up. Recommended some other games that are just even to promote. Yeah, yeah. I ran West Marches with 25 players. In person is impossible. All right, I'll give you that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. 25 players, dude. Mostly in person, but I have a steady stream of coworkers that are only in town for like 36 days depending on their part. Okay. All right, that's cool. I put effort not to be in this circle. Doom 2 was amazing, wasn't it? It was the greatest therapy ever. I love that shit, man. Motivate basic rules explicitly say not to run railroad adventures. And that was 1981. Yeah. Love you, bro. Big bro. Ripping today. Time to wet the whistle. Yeah, you know I am. I got a little fucking parched here. Getting a little fucking low here, too. A big old, it wasn't full. It was a big ass ice cube in here. So, yeah. Oh, online play is not good. It's unsatisfying. You got to try with a good group, man. You know, that's really the key, I think. Play both online and in person. Oh, okay, that's what you do. Go, Joe. You're a hero when you reach level 5. You're kind of fodder at level 1. Is it piracy if no one sees you doing it? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not giving legal advice. Buying is only piracy isn't stealing. Brother Joe, what the fuck is up, Dan? Dan, you caught me mid rant, dude. I'm reading somebody's long comments, talking about how we burnt out from D&D. So we're giving some little therapy and some advice as we go here. So anyway, when I parted ways with my last group, and it ended rather badly, the DM told me that this game simply wasn't for me and that I didn't know how to play it. To that, I replied, "It's a silly conversation game where you make up all kinds of nonsense that might have been written in a book at some point, and that's how it's supposed to be. That's the rule. You can't play it wrong." Even almost 2 years later, that still hurts me quite a bit because I was always there on time, prepared, sitting at his table, and genuinely trying to pay attention to everything. I simply couldn't understand how the rest of the group thought or how I was supposed to react to the things they were doing. I didn't want to become someone's therapist, a bed warmer for smut. A bed warmer for smut. There's a lot in that. I'll unpack in that one. Or nor want to be the mindless butcher of the land. Yeah, I get that, man. You're looking for a higher level game, but you want a 10th level D&D game, and you're playing with fucking 0 level DMs and 0 level other players. That's really, I think, the key here. You know, you're stuck with these losers. You got to find a better group, man. You got to find a better group. Look online. I know it sucks. You know, you have to do it online, but I'd rather play online than not play online. I rather at all. You know what I mean? Like, give me an online game, or if that's the only option, I'd rather do that than never play D&D again. You know that honestly. But I get the in-person experience desire. Like I moved my brother's game back to in person. Been doing the kids game in person, and every once in a while, like I want to pack my bag, bring old school essentials, some basic bullshit game up, and go to a game store, plunk down at a table, and say, "Who the fuck wants to play real D&D?" And just announce it to the world and stand up and scream it. I know I'll spend at least half of that fucking game store will have to go into therapy because a big, loud, fat, ponytail wielding, goddamn middle-aged white dude started screaming loudly. But fuck you, you pussies. But I want to do that. I just want to run games for people in person, man. It's like an artist like outlet, you know. But I know that would like blow the fuck up and the police and SWAT teams to be called because God forbid I want to play D&D at a fucking game store and announce it to the fucking world. Anyway, where was I? Where the fuck was I? Yeah. I want to sit down, experience a story from beginning to end, and have something where we can communicate intelligently, learn from each other, and experience something together. Yes, that's all we want, man. That's all with D&D. That's what we all want. Experience a story. Again, not write some story. You're not playing somebody's pre-written story. Have a way we can communicate intelligently. You need intelligent people for that. Learn from each other and grow. Again, you need good players and experience something together. Yeah, that's the shit you want to talk to Tails about afterwards, you know? That's the feeling I miss the most. I totally get that, dude. When you're playing with shitty group after shitty group, you don't have that feeling, you know? It sucks. It fucking sucks balls. Fucking sucks balls. Um, To this day, I still maintain that D&D is ultimately just an overly glorified conversation where we use dice to decide whether A or B is right. You can dress it up however you like, but the naked truth is that's what it is and nothing more. I still believe that D&D is a diamond in the rough, something you have to polish, protect yourself, to perfect yourself, and that with the right people, it can become one of the greatest experiences in the world. But I've reached a point where I no longer want to pour ridiculous amounts of energy into trying to make this game work when it feels like it's never going to. Dude, it's like a bad marriage or a bad girlfriend or something like that, or boyfriend or wife or whatever, whatever the hell you got going on in your life. But it's the same thing. Eventually, you reach a point where you're like the abused spouse, and you keep getting ignored, getting shit on, getting used and abused, and you keep pouring more and more of yourself into this fucking relationship, and it's not going anywhere. You got to get a divorce, but not from D&D. Divorce from the fucking people who suck balls, and you got to find new people who don't suck balls unless you like your balls sucked, and then you find those people. But you know what I'm saying? Find a group, find your tribe, man. Find the game you want to play or the game you want to DM, right? Figure that game out. Go to a Discord server where that game is hosted, like Hyperborea for Dan, right? I guarantee you, Dan could find anybody. He could jump into the Hyperborea server and say, "I'm running a game tonight at 8. Ping me if you want to play," and you get 5 fucking people in a second like that, right? Same thing. Find the play, and then once you play with these people, right, either as a player or as a DM, you're running a game. Keep notes in your head, like this one's a shithead. I like that one, and I want to play. Right? I want to play. That's it. Right? So yeah, that's what you got to do. All right. I simply don't know anymore. I no longer enjoy DMing, creating characters, doing prep work, drawing maps, or designing and balancing encounters. Dude, fuck the balancing encounters. I think I saw a comment stream by on that. That's a big problem. That if you're a 5e guy and it sounds like you started with 5e, jump into the old school games, dude, because we don't care about balanced encounters. All right. Tim, just watch any one of Tim's videos and he's running games. There's no balance in that shit. He'll kill you. You walk down the street, you take a piss. Next thing you know, you get mind raped by a wraith. Yeah, you die. You die. But yeah, forget the balanced encounters, man. I simply don't have the energy to chase after people who disappear without a trace or keep trying my luck with random groups whose dynamics I know absolutely nothing about. Jump into multiple games online, find your tribe, figure out where your people are, and then don't let them go once you find them. What can I do to somehow rediscover the love I once had for the hobby? You might want to take a break too, dude. Not forever. Not forever. Just take a break, man. Just go out, touch grass, they say, but go for a hike, take a couple weeks off. Maybe just tell yourself, you know what, I'm off D&D for a few weeks. After, if you're from America, I don't think you are, I think it's based on your time zone, but we have a thing in here called Labor Day in September. Say a month from now, and say after, I'm gonna take a month off, I'm gonna clear my head, I'm gonna read some good books, I'm gonna go see some movies, I'm gonna go for hikes, I'm gonna go to the gym, whatever the fuck you do. Clear your fucking headspace, right? And then jump back into it in a couple weeks and start reading stuff that you like. And then find your tribe. How can I rediscover the love I once had for this hobby? Play with the people who also love it, right? Play with the people who also love the hobby. I think that's the best way to find your fucking love is to just share it. I mean, it's like, again, like a relationship, right? If you're gonna share love, both people need to love the thing, love the other, right? And so if you're playing with people who you don't love and they don't love you, fucking find somebody to love. Is that a song? Don't you like somebody to love? Anyway, let me stop sharing the screen and stop fucking singing because I can't sing for shit, as you could tell. Let me get my screen back up here. There we go. I know there's a lot of comments I fucking missed here. What's up, Dan? Tolor, oh, Chuck, what's up, man? What's going on? You're kicking ass. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it's just hard to find good people. I know, Matt. You just gotta jump online, dude. Goons want to ERP those people along on ERP. What does that even mean? Goons want to ERP. I'm too old for that phrase. Sorry, man. Told online suck, but I'm playing a video game. I don't agree, man. We've had great times online. Great times. What system should he play, Dan? I know what Dan's going to say. Hyperborea. Jump into Hyperborea. Jump into Dan's game. If he's had any openings ever, Joe would kill off their Marys. I would definitely not try to kill them off. I wouldn't cry if they died, though. I got to say. I think this guy is a story gamer. No, I'm not a story gamer. That's what I want to do, but with Barrows and Borderlands, show up on an open D&D night with my file folder full of handwritten notes and maps. Exactly. That's what I want to do too, but there's never any groups to do that with. The game stores here don't have that, I have one rule. What is taboo? I not play a table where a character is pregnant. I stay away always when I play. What? Uh, play at a table where a character is pregnant. Oh, okay. All right. Where a character or a player is pregnant. Sit down and say, okay, bitches, wants to be real D&D. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's it. Exactly. Any time I come across when others not respect that ask from me because is on fortune on I'm not sure what that means, dude. Designing balance encounters, that's your first problem. Yeah, exactly. What balance? Yes, Chuck knows. Play. Did you try Castles and Crusades? Speaking of that, TLG Chuck means Troll Lord Games Chuck. Castles and Crusades is a great old school game with modern add-ons, and I got Chuck. I love the game. I'm not a fan of the Siege engine, but teach their own. But other than that, it's a fantastic fucking game. I can never quite get my mind around the Siege and how it's good. But other than that, fucking awesome game. Awesome game. And they have new editions all the time coming out. What are they, like the 48th edition now? But those guys are cool. The brothers, the Troll Lord brothers are awesome. Davis and Steve, they did a long interview with me. It was fucking awesome. I want to talk to these guys forever because they're brothers who own a D&D, role-playing game company, and they've been playing D&D together since they were kids. Me and my brother playing D&D together since we were kids. I'm 14, he was 12, right? And so I just wanted to talk about brothers in gaming, and I was such an awesome, one of my favorite interviews / conversations. I look forward to maybe doing it again. Chuck, I don't know if you ever told them how much I enjoyed it, but if you're still here, Chuck, let them know, please. If they ever want to come back on the show, that'd be fucking great. And I heard Troll Lord Games is having a troll con or something like that. They're bringing it back. So that's awesome. That's fucking awesome. Came back from a one-shot game at my local game store. We had a good-sized group, 6 players plus DM. Nice. Eat the Reach, where we were vampire commandos battling Nazis. That's fucking awesome. Awesome, man. Good palate cleanser. Yes. Ouch, I feel this guy. Yeah, you had it happen to you, Michael McLaughlin. Yeah, it's rough, man. It's rough when that's like that fucking situation, Love the white and the old level 3 wandering monster table. No better way to TPK a low level party. True. Play with the people who love it, but also play the game that speaks to you the most. That is the key. That's why I was recommended. Figure out your game, man. Figure out your fucking game. And once you find your game, go to where people are hanging out who play that game. When D&D was all the rage, it was the only game in town for real, in a way. Back in the 70s and 80s, and you went to a game store, everybody's playing D&D, right? So you could say, oh, who wants to get in a pickup game, right? And you might find somebody, or you could jump into a pickup game or something like that. But now there's so many fucking games out there, and so many people are playing online, and so many people that lack the fucking social skills to go and just introduce themselves and show you got, hold out your hand and say, hey, I'm Joe. I'm looking for a game. You guys, you got an opening or something right here? I could join in, or, what are you playing? They don't have the fucking mental skills there, They don't have it. It's goddamn sad. Oh, erotic role play. Okay. All right. Did not know that. If you're not with the one you love the one you're with. Oh, that's try Crosby, Stills, and Nash. Yeah. Was that with Young or not with Young? I'm not sure. It might have been Young, but I love that fucking song. Erotic role play. Everybody knows what erotic role play is except me. That's interesting. Thought I was the perv here. The fuck. No, not you. The guy who wrote the comment was a story gamer, not insulting him. Just how I don't. The thing is, Thomas. I think that Matt is new. Matt is here. All right, Matt is in the chat here, and I told him I was going to read his comment and talk about it because he had such a long comment. I wanted to address it here, but he is here in the chat, so. I think that's the issue is he's only played 5e and he's only been playing 5 years and he probably got into critical role style groups, right? So that's an issue, Um AK people too weird even for me. That's great, Adam. I mean, you people actually play erotic role play games like with dice and shit. What do you pull out a dildo instead of a sword? What do you got? Sex toys? Is that what is it like? You got instead of manacles, you got sexy fucking furred handcuffs or something. What the hell is this game even? I don't even know. My character's 9 months pregnant and could give birth at any moment. Oh my god, really? Fuck that. They have who does that? Thanks, Chuck. Appreciate you too, guys. Awesome people, man. Awesome people. Instead of changing the DC for primary abilities, just need to add +6. Yeah. Oh, okay. That's it, huh? I can't wrap my mind. It just seems that it's not working the way my mind works and the way that system works doesn't mesh together. I don't know. I'm too weird, I guess. I know it's a fine system and it's probably well balanced and everything else, but it doesn't mesh with my brain. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, thanks, Chuck. Yeah, let them know if they ever want to come back, man. That was one of my best conversations I've ever had. Yeah, the trolls are that's to their con, so that's kind of cool. If ERP stands for that, isn't that the crowd wizards targeting? No, because the erotic role play, it might be all they could ever do because apparently the entire generation from 18 to 28, they ain't fucking. They're not fucking. They're not having sex. They're not even getting hand jobs. They're not fucking at all in any way, shape, or form. There's like half of the guys, half of men up to age 30, under 30 and under, haven't even ever approached a girl and asked them out on a date. The fuck? What the hell is that? You know? I mean, it's insane. It's insane. I got relatives, younger relatives. They're like, I'm talking to so and so, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's what are they like? And by talking, they mean they're doing Snapchat, and by snapping, they're not even texting words; they're sending pictures, like smiley or whatever. It's like they're not even. That is talking to kids today. If you say they're talking, it means they're sending a picture of their shoulder or a weird smile or some scene that they're looking at. That's considered talking to somebody. And so this is why we have that fucking problem. This is why they fucking have that fucking problem. You know? Fortunately, it's hard for me to find a group as I live far from everything. The people I can try this out with don't understand. Dude, if you live far from people who they don't get it, then you got to go online, man. I know it sucks, but you got to do it. Stuck at the level of board games like Snakes and Ladders, Shoots and Ladders, wasn't it? I was in a Discord D&D community server and they had an ERP server on the side. Really? I remember back in the ancient days of the internet and text-based internet, there was these muds and mushes and moos. If you don't know what that is, Google it. Can't explain it. It's like Zork text level interaction stuff, rooms and whatever. And there was a lot of those kinds of muds, mushes, and moos. So they were just kind of weird places. I went in there a couple of times. What the fuck is this? They're all like kinky, weird, I don't know, whatever. And I don't trust me. I don't slut shame. I don't weird shame. I'm just some weird shit myself. But it was weird even for me. So yeah. It's like, where's the get off? Where's the fun? I don't know. 5e is the only TTRPG ever played. Yeah, that's what I was asking too. Love the one you're with, Stevens. Oh, was it solo? No shit. I didn't know that. No shit. Turns me off and they include perverted elements in the game. And I don't have to listen to one of the characters describing a threesome with a werewolf and a dragon. Well, I played Baldur's Gate 3, and it was interesting because there's opportunities if you play your cards right throughout the game that you could fuck the other characters, straight sex, gay sex, any sex. Everyone's fucking everybody apparently. Yeah, I think there was one druid fucking a barefoot. I don't know what the hell was going on. There was all kinds of weird sex shit going on in Baldur's Gate 3. I only got through chapter 1 of it and I gave up because if we're living in a simulation, I don't want to be living in a simulation within a simulation, right? So I just gave up on it. It takes too much fucking time. Only ERP solo. I'm a solo warper too lately. I mean, it's a problem that it doesn't know what it is. OSR knows what they are. 3X knows what they are. 4X knows what it is. 4X knows that they are a living abortion. That's what they know. It's shit. My wife's rolling over here. Sorry, man. I don't want to offend anybody, dude, but Keck. What is Keck? Is Keck another abbreviation? I don't know what the fuck it means. And this is another thing. Don't ask questions you don't want to hear the answers to. Smut writing narratives on World of Warcraft equal ERP. Okay. We had an orc cast a spell so that they had a dick and could fuck our 2 elven ladies. We had an orc cast a spell so that orcs don't have dicks in your game or something. Why don't orcs have dicks? I don't understand. Maybe they cast on the elven ladies so the elven ladies could fuck the orc. Is that what you're talking about? Who's fucking who? Who's strapping it on? Who's fucking who? That's what I'm going to find out here. Just blame OJ. Just blame OJ. That's the greatest name ever, by the way. Oh man, Snicker snack when the Vorpal vibrator. Oh Christ, man! Not much dice involved, just mostly roll. What you could do is you could string together dice, right? String them together like the big ones on a string, and then they got a dice the anal beads, right? You can do that. Just don't do it with the D4s, man. That'll hurt like a motherfucker. If you're gonna do dice anal beads. I'm not saying for personal experience. I'm just saying use D20s or D12s. Don't do the D4s and the D8s. That is one painful experience I've heard. All right. So yeah. I played a big Pathfinder, so I have more problem with the people than the systems. Yeah, Pathfinder's a rough game, dude. I mean, it's just dead. First of all, I think it's just a dead system, and it's complicated. It's called Mathfinder for a fucking reason. It's goddamn hard. Game doesn't explain itself to DMs. Most good RPGs explain it. Dude, yeah, you got to Matt. You got to get into like old school games. No erotic gameplay. There goes my notes for you and Ken for the next few sessions. Ken got laid. I give you. Ken got laid. In his game. And I loved how when you threw the opportunity out there for his halfling to get laid with some halfling chick, and you're like, I'm like, oh, I'm popcorn edge of my seat. Is Ken gonna get laid? Because Ken is a 60-something-year-old dude, and his wife could hear everything that's going on in the next room. She sometimes chimes in like Chuck's wife, laughing in the background, right? So Ken's like in there, he's like, all right. So Tim's like, you're gonna take her up on the offer, and Ken's like, mhm, mhm. He just nods his head. He's not too loud because the wife might hear, right? Oh God. Heck of a topic to join the stream to. Howdy, gents. Hello, hello, hello. I have a long-standing rule that's grievous party foul to kink shame. Yeah, I don't kink shame anybody. Fuck, I'm into weird shit. I guess. Everybody's into weird shit. Every motherfucker out there has thought about or done some weird ass shit. Every one of you fuckers, you 51 fucking people who are watching this, and anybody over there on Patreon, no, not a soul. But all you 51 motherfuckers are into some weird shit, did some weird shit, has some weird shit happen to them. Whatever it was, you know it, right? So that's why you can never kink shame, man. You can never fucking kink shame. I have a cold, cold heart. I'll shame the ERP for you. Oh God, sorry, Chuck. I don't want to ruin your night with your wife there, man. You'd be spoiled if you have sex and with the text. You could have there was a bear, right? Wasn't there a bear in a shed? Someone was fucking a bear, or Drew was fucking a bear or some shit. I remember that scene. I'm like, the hell is this? The hell is this? And then I was upset that I didn't save it beforehand so I could just replay it and like screenshot it, capture it, and send it out to people. I fucked a bear. But yeah. Let's see. You got me to comment. All right, Thunderwolf. Cool. I almost sure. I guarantee you somebody made dice anal beads for D&D nerds. I fucking guarantee you, man. I believe you about the anal dice, Joe. I really do. Cornelia Greenwood. Most everyone is pansexual in Forgotten Realms, so Baldur's Gate 3 is canon. Really? You said that? Jesus Christ. I've done some weird shit while thinking about doing weird shit. Oh God, man. Pansexual. Ed Greenwood says everybody is pansexual. I think he lost control of his own setting when he gave it up to Wizards of the Coast. And yeah, good for him. He's making money over the last 30 fucking years. It's a great setting, but still, I mean, come on. Yeah, pansexual? Who's fucking pans? You don't want to fuck a pan. They're hard. They're metal usually. Cast iron. That can't feel good. No matter how much fucking cooking all you put on there. So, anywho, guys, those are my topics for today. 51 of you are still here for some reason. We're talking weird sex, and more people keep joining. Go figure. I don't know. You fucking lunatic freaks. You kinky motherfuckers. So, what else is going on? What else you want to talk about? Anything else? Anything popping? Anything going on? Right? Come on, tell me. These people lost their goddamn minds or commie gobbledygook. Yeah, it's Maoism shit. It's like erase the past, man. That's what it is, Oh, I know what that means. Any pan means everything. I know what that means. Okay, but Ed Greenwood said how his tiefling breast milk tastes like. It was cinnamon. Did he really? Ed Greenwood's YouTube channel is great for lore. I can imagine that. But Ed's Forgotten Realms, they started at the same point back in the day with that fucking gray box first edition Forgotten Realms, and that's the game he was kind of running. I think they edited some shit to make it a little bit different, right? And his is darker and grittier and more hardcore, from what I understand, because he kept playing his own version. He doesn't play their version of Forgotten Realms. I remember in an interview I saw this. He plays his own Forgotten Realms, and his Forgotten Realms is a different place than Wizards of the Coast. I'm sure he's had some input in the Wizards, with stuff from his game and shit, and vice versa. Maybe he's taking some things from their stuff and put it into his game, but his game is very different. This game is a very different game than the Forgotten Realms published stuff. I am actually convinced that the reason that they've moved to Greyhawk as their default setting in the DMG is because there is relatively nothing out there for Greyhawk compared to Forgotten Realms. I know there's a lot, but relatively nothing compared to Forgotten Realms. They have overdone everything in the fucking Forgotten Realms. And the other thing is that there's nobody left who knows it, right? Because they canned everybody every Christmas firing to get rid of more and more people, right? Until there's nobody left. They have independent contractors and shit like that, right? And so basically, when you have a massive 40 years worth of lore and stories and contradictions and resets and all this stuff for Forgotten Realms. Even the fucking Forgotten Realms wiki can't probably keep it all accurate, right? And then when you can everybody who used to know about that stuff, right? Who is going to keep making Forgotten Realms shit? Because there's too much to know. There's too much headcanon you need to have, right? And most of the people who have all that headcanon going, they're such fucking spazzy nerd geek people, right? They're like autistically anal retentive and like, man, they can't deal with anybody. They can't talk to normal people. They can't interact, right? And so it's like the Wizards of the Coast are probably like, well, fuck, we can't do anything Forgotten Realms because there's too much to know. The wiki doesn't cover it, and people will get pissed off at us for changing shit, right? And so yeah, let's fuck that. We'll just do Greyhawk, and that's why, because nobody knows anything about Greyhawk. In the meantime, Joe blocked the Greyhawk Grognard. I was like, motherfucker, I know everything about fucking Greyhawk. Hire me to do it, right? Eric Mona, when Paiza would probably fucking hire on as a consultant to do that shit. He knows a lot about Greyhawk. He was talking to, I think Joe or somebody about all the little things. I guess he got to talk to Gary at some point about the Greyhawk map, and Gary told him all the little fucking Easter eggs that were in the Greyhawk map and the Greyhawk setting, you know. So that was kind of cool. So he knows that kind of stuff, you know. Yeah, yeah. Uh, what have we got? Chastity belts? What the fuck are you talking about? I got to catch up on this stuff. Let's see, a class. The Greyhawk, the gray box was the high point. To this day, dude. I say that's what I ran my Forgotten Realms campaign a few years ago. That it was like a 4.5 year campaign, and I took the gray box first edition. I took Waterdeep in the North, Savage Frontier. I took the Tether and Kalimshan book, and that's all you needed. There was a couple of those guys that I dipped into a couple times, but that's all you need to run an awesome Forgotten Realms shit, and that's all first edition stuff, all first edition. Yep, yep, yep. Ed Green was started working on Farron in 1965. Exactly. I think it was a fictional setting, right? Ever ran in Greyhawk? I ran Temple and Shadow Dark up through with TPK and a Moat House. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Greyhawk. We play a lot in Greyhawk, man. It was the one we did the most when we were like teenagers and early college days, and then we got into Forgotten Realms later. So yeah, yeah, definitely. We run Temple's definitely done that a few times. Ed Greenwood could just say all sorts of weird shit, and they don't have a good way to rein him in. Yeah, yeah. What's he gonna do? What are you gonna do? You can't shit on him. Send the Pinkertons to seal his tongue. Fucks. You know. Let's hope to keep Greyhawk lore sparse, or just don't fuck it up. I'm just lurking with the comedy made me laugh in real life. Chastity belts with a negative 25% difficulty unlock, plus 3 COD pieces. Let's keep the talk D&D related. This is D&D related. You mean you don't roll for dick size for your PCs? What do you mean? What the hell? We have a rule in our games that dwarven dicks are shorter, the wider than they are short. That's the rule. That's the rule. Yeah, we always roll dick size, you know, first you're going to get laid. No, not always. But what we do, though, if a character is getting laid in the game, we always have them roll a performance check. It's usually a dex-based thing, right? Dex check or something like that. And it's fucking glorious if they roll a 1. Because that's legendary. That never goes away. That rolling of 1 and when you're getting laid never ever goes away. You're rolling that 20, good for you. But yeah, not 1, you're fucked. You know. Let's see. Oh, $5 super chat. Michael McLaughlin. Talking about the realms, I put Midrannor in my setting as a Lost Elf city. I did that. I used Midrannor a little bit of it. It was kind of cool. There's a couple books on Midrannor. One's the box set, which I have, and then there was like a book, an actual book of Midrannor. I think it was soft cover or something. I got the PDF somewhere from the PDF Fairy. So yeah. Isn't Wizard subcontracting Forgotten Realms up the Kobold Press? I think they are. I think they just gave up, you know? So Kobold is going to do shit for Forgotten Realms. I don't know how much, but yeah. My Stara Karamikos, you must watch Mr. Welch, Michael McLaughlin. If you don't watch Mr. Welch, you are missing out. He's the world's greatest expert on all things My Stara. And he put out a setting book, I believe, for it, or a player's handbook for it. Go check his channel out. You'll see all that stuff out there. Thank you for the super chat, by the way. All super chats greatly appreciated here. The folio style area books from AD&D second edition are good for the realms. Yeah, some of them are. What the hell Wizards of the Coast did with the kobolds? Yeah, they did. But the kobold press, they hired them. Dwarven dicks are thick like a can of corn. That's why, more like a tuna can, dude. More like dwarven dicks like a tuna can, not a can of corn. That's the way we always figured it, like a can of tuna, So yeah. So in any case, oh god, anything else going on, guys? Fuck, it's like 10:30. This shit flies, man. Yeah. Oh, you do show us videos for lore. That's awesome. That's awesome. I wouldn't even show them lore because lore is there to be discovered. You know what I mean? Lore is there to be discovered. Um, I have to remember that at Gen Con that Wizards announced outsourcing Ravenloft, Eberron, and Forgotten Realms to 3 different companies. They did. They did definitely. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Working on getting every one of the Mystara Gazetteer lines. I did that over COVID because I had extra money. I was in the bars. So I got a lot of, I have all of them over there. They're over there. Yeah, I got them all. I got them all. Welch is awesome. Me and Joe Block and Eric Tankar and Mr. Welch did a series of videos with him, with Mr. Welch. And then we did a couple live streams with him on Sundays back in what, December, maybe January, February, something like that. Cool dude, really cool dude. Was awesome. Dwarven Dick, new indie band name. Dwarven Dick. Nice. Oh Christ, man. Chuck, when is if you're still here, Chuck, when is the Troll Con? When is that coming? Let me try to find it. Troll Con, Troll Lord Games. And where is it? Troll Con. Yeah, it's one word, Troll Con, apparently. All right. Let's see. Recently announced the return of TrollCon on their Facebook page. I'm doing a Google search to find this shit out. Returning in fall of 2027. All right. Date and location revealed. Let's see. Oh, Christ. It's linking to a YouTube channel. Must be there a YouTube announcement. Shrink this thing. Oh, God. You know what? I'm gonna share the screen. You could all see it with me. What the hell? I might as well. This is the TrollCon announcement that I don't think I've seen. I just remember seeing something about it. So let me share this shit. Let me hide the chat. Let me get rid of my face. All right. Oh, you know what? I don't think I put the fucking volume on like a retard. All right. I'm gonna entire screen, volume on, audio output, boom. All right, here we go. We're gonna share the TrollCon announcement here with y'all. So TrollCon 27 announcement, date and location revealed. Here we go. Where is it, motherfucker? Benton, Arkansas. I said Arizona. All right, there you go. There you go. We have the TrollCon announcement. Fall 2027 in Arkansas. All right, so we go to Arkansas. Wouldn't mind going there, actually. Who am I fooling? I won't go. I don't like traveling anymore. I'm at that age where I don't like fucking traveling anymore. Yeah. What's up, Jimmy Son? You're just missing, man. I'm just about to wrap up, man. Go back and rewatch. It was a good show. I had fun tonight, guys. I had fun. This was cool. It's funny because sometimes you come into this low energy and like, oh, I want to go to bed, or you know what I mean? Just watch a bullshit repeat and go to sleep because I didn't get much sleep last night. Not for good reasons either. Damn it. I just didn't get much sleep. So there's good reason not getting much sleep and there's bad reasons. I just had the bad reasons. I'm like, then I get on here and I start talking to you guys and it's fun. So I appreciate y'all. Really do. I have about 50 something people tonight. So that's fucking awesome. That's fucking awesome. Every Thursday, guys. All right. For Thursday night dice, because I stole it from Nerd Erotics Friday Night Tights. So this is our third episode and we'll keep them going. They're on Patreon. Do subscribe. If you're not a member, you can become a channel member for like $5 or something. Patreon too is, you could be free or you could subscribe for a few bucks over there. Substack, the essays every week is free. Taking this weekend off. I got a lot going on, family shit. So there won't be a Substack or a Patreon this weekend, but I'll follow up next week. Generally, every week though. I think in the last couple of months, I've only missed once or twice. So yeah, I'm trying to get them every week if I can, guys. All right. So thank you so much. I appreciate y'all watching this long. I still got 45 of you here. God. And I shockingly, I've not had to take a piss yet, but I do have to take a piss now. So thank you, Joseph. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. But anybody who's watching on the repeats, on the rewinds or tomorrow or something like that, go check it out. 4:30 right here, and I have to be in a room. build a room in the morning, so it would be nice. Jesus Christ. God, man. Thursday night dice, Thursday night anal dice sounds like a punk rock band. Yes, Thursday night anal dice. I like that. Anal bead dice. Nice. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much. Take care, everybody. I gotta go. No problem, Matt. Thank you for that comment, dude. I really appreciate that comment. I do read all. I try to read every single comment. I can't respond to them all anymore because there's too many of you commenting. But I try to read them all, even if I and just give a heart or something like that if I can, So I really do. If you have any questions, throw it out there. Anything like that. I totally appreciate it. All right, guys. Thank you all, and I will talk to you next Thursday. All right. Like the video. Please do like the video. Subscribe. Be a member. Join the party. Be a caveman. Analog Mancave is the channel, even though it's Joethelawyer. YouTube.com/@Joethelawyer. Analog Mancave is the channel, and we are all cavemen here. So I'm not saying cave people are cave women because 99.999% of you are men. So go figure.